I've been doing this route for about a dozen years or so anyway.
Hop in the car with Chuck Gates.
Northern Harrier. This is the American Kestrel.
And you'll soon realize this ride is for the birds.
Steve, we got our first pretty good look at a red-tailed hawk.
Specifically, raptors.
The definition of a raptor is a bird that kills its prey with its talons.
A trip where a good grip could come in handy for humans.
I do a lot of quick stops.
All in the name of science.
Every raptor that we see, we count. A typical number for this route would be about 150 birds that we see in one day.
Something on the left.
Chuck and a team of citizen scientists are driven to collect data for the East Cascades Audubon Society.
It forms sort of the left side of a V right now.
We're just scanning the treetops, looking for one of those blobs, a dark blob.
Which get identified,
Got a red tail over here.
recorded,
So I'll mark him down.
and uploaded.
It's the crunch period for birds of prey or any species of wildlife. The winter is always the toughest. It always culls out the most.
Jeff Fleischer of Eugene worked for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service.
That's a rich area for birds that he has on his routes. Pretty cool.
In retirement, he founded a project that's led to a cross-Cascades collaboration now 20 years old. The Winter Raptor Survey counts the birds along fixed routes 3 months out of the year.
Right now, we've got 575 active routes covering more than 34,000 miles of transects that are surveyed each month by about 460 primary volunteers. We're basically a collection agent for the data and willingly providing it to whoever wants it.
We're developing a really good database for how many raptors are actually out there.
Numbers from around Oregon and 5 other western states, used by the public and private sector along with nonprofit organizations.
Instead of having to extrapolate, you can have boots on the ground. Just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Growing, thanks to volunteers like Cindy Zalinardo.
And we're coming up to one on a pole to the left up there.
Underneath the tower there on the right, isn't it, Alan?
And this guy, retired anchorman Alan Schaffler.
Yeah.
Rolling into farm country north of Prineville, the count really picks up.
A second prairie falcon just flew out. It has feathers that grow all the way down to its feet. Most of our hawks have feathers that just go down about halfway down the leg. And so they call it a rough-legged hawk. It looks like it has socks on. This is a ferruginous hawk. This is the most common bird we see on these surveys. Yes, this is the red-tailed hawk. And we've got a bird in the air, Cindy. It's a Cessna.
Joking aside, the spotters can ID birds by their style of flight and even their silhouette.
So our rules say that we can count a bird if we can see a bird. So we get out in the open country here, we can actually see some birds as much as a mile away.
For the birds, the outlook is good.
Overall, most of the birds of prey species are holding their own, which is good, considering that man is totally encroaching on their habitat every year.
So it's gaining scientific knowledge, but we're also educating the public.
On a favorite subject for this retired science teacher.
I never get tired of it. It's just a blast. Something different every time, for sure.
Slight dihedral dark. It could be a golden.
Yeah, this is golden eagle.
Okay, I got one golden. Okay.
Yeah, if we weren't having fun, we wouldn't do this.
In Crook County, Steve Kaufman, Central Oregon Daily News.